Call this meeting to order. Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Okay, please have a roll call.
Council President O'Halloran.
Here.
Councilmember Rivera.
Here.
Councilmember Albertson. Councilmember Vaughn.
Here.
Councilmember Perez.
Here.
Councilmember Prince.
Here.
And Councilmember McIrvin.
Here.
Roll call, Mr. Mayor, all present.
All right, thank you. And we have lots of people here joining us tonight. Our first item is a proclamation, National Hispanic Heritage Month.
Proclamation. Whereas each year the United States observes National Hispanic Heritage Month by celebrating the culture, heritage, and contributions of those whose ancestors were indigenous to North America, as well as those who came from Spain, Mexico, the Caribbean, Central America, and South America. And whereas the population of the city of Renton is approximately 15.6% Hispanic or Latino, and whereas what began in 1968 as Hispanic Heritage Week under President Johnson was expanded by President Reagan in 1988 to cover a 30-day period starting on September 15th and ending on October 15th. And whereas this year's theme, Latinos, Driving Prosperity, Power, and Progress in America, celebrates Hispanic heritage and reflects on the economic contributions of Latinos in America, encouraging us to reflect on the contributions Hispanics have made in the past and will make in the future. And whereas Hispanics serve as civil rights leaders, community organizers, politicians, soldiers, educators, journalists, first responders, pioneers in art and science, healthcare professionals, athletes, inventors, entertainers, and so much more. And whereas Hispanics continued their rich history of significant and diverse contributions to the cultural, educational, economic, and political vitality of Renton. Now, therefore, I, Armando Pavoni, Mayor of the City of Renton, do hereby proclaim September 15th through October 15th, 2023, to be Hispanic Heritage Month in the City of Renton, and he encourages all residents to honor the rich diversity of the Hispanic community and celebrate the many ways they contribute to our nation and society. In witness thereof, I am hereunto set my hand and cause the seal of the City of Renton to be affixed this 9th day of October 2023, signed Armando Pavoni, Mayor of the City of Renton. And Councilmember Perez, she's going to read it in Spanish now.
Proclamación. Considerando que cada año Estados Unidos celebra el mes de la herencia hispana, celebrando la cultura, la herencia y las contribuciones de aquellos cuyos antepasados fueron indígenas de América del Norte, así como de aquellos que vinieron de España, México, el Caribe, América Central y América del Sur. Y, considerando que la población de la ciudad de Renton es aproximadamente 15.6% hispana o latina, y considerando que lo que comenzó en 1968 como la Semana de la Herencia Hispana bajo el presidente Johnson fue ampliado por el presidente Reagan en 1988 para cubrir un periodo de 30 días comenzando el 15 de septiembre y terminando el 15 de octubre. Y considerando que el tema de este año, Latinos, impulsando la prosperidad, el poder y el progreso en Estados Unidos, celebra la herencia hispana y reflexiona sobre las contribuciones económicas de los latinos en Estados Unidos, animándonos a reflexionar sobre las contribuciones que los hispanos han hecho en el pasado y que harán en el futuro. Y, considerando que los hispanos sirven como líderes de derechos civiles, organizadores comunitarios, políticos, soldados, educadores, periodistas, socorristas, pioneros en el arte y la ciencia, profesionales de la salud, atletas, inventores, artistas y mucho más. Y, considerando que los hispanos continúan significativamente contribuyendo con su rica y diversa historia a la vitalidad cultural, educativa, económica y política de Renton, por lo tanto, yo, Armando Pavoni, alcalde de la ciudad de Renton, proclamo con la presente que el 15 de septiembre al 15 de octubre de 2023 será mes de la herencia hispana en la ciudad de Renton y aliento a todos los residentes a honrar la rica diversidad de la comunidad hispana y celebrar las muchas formas en que contribuyen a nuestra nación y sociedad. En fe de lo cual, asiento mi firma y el sello de la ciudad de Renton el día 9 de octubre de 2023. Mr. Mayor.
Yes, Councilmember Perez.
I move the proclamation be adopted as read.
Segundo.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilmember Perez, second by Councilmember Rivera, that the council adopt the proclamation as read. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. All right, the motion carries. And tonight, I'm extremely pleased to say that accepting the proclamation will be Arisa Bordon, and she is Renton's first state Latina-owned state farm agency here located in Renton. You'd like to say a few words?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, City of Renton Council. I'm very honored. On behalf of my entire family and my team, I am grateful to honor all that the Latino population has done to not only support Renton, but we are thriving, we are growing. So thank you very much. I am honored. I appreciate your support, and we look forward to helping you and supporting you to make this community the best and most diverse community and population that we can be. Thank you so much.
Got it too? Got it. Good.
And remember,
All the family.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Your family's bigger than that. Keep coming.
You consider yourself a family, come up here.
Except the tall guy's got to go over here because otherwise I don't see the council. Oh, I think this is great. Mucho familia. Okay. Up here, smile like you won something.
This is also probably appropriate time to make the announcement that tomorrow morning on the morning news, our own Ted Rodriguez will be celebrated. So anybody want to check that out? Tune in on the news tomorrow, I believe Channel 5. All right, next up is the administrative report.
All right. Good evening, everyone. The information about the preventative street maintenance, traffic impact projects, and road closures happening this week can be found at rentonwa.gov/traffic. All projects are weather permitting. Unless otherwise noted, streets will always remain open. And that is all I have. Sorry, Judith.
All right, she has to walk faster, or you have to talk slower next time.
Slower.
Okay, next up is the audience comment. 3 minutes to talk. There's a timer right in front. Please state your name, city that you live in, and what you'd like to talk about. First up, John Lang.
Good evening, John Lang. Address is 13425 164th Avenue Southeast, Renton, Washington. I'm here with the owner, Kim Frodsham, who I share the house with the last 5 years. Left a handout with you tonight, interested in getting the council's support for a road problem that has been caused into effect by the development of the Maple and Skyhorse development. D.R. Horton started about 18 months ago. If you look at the first page, you'll see that there is a yellow line that shows a temporary road, and you'll see a whole number of trees that are there, and all of those trees have been removed by the development. There's about 6 or 8 huge 80-foot trees, And then there's a steep slope cut in anywhere from 12 feet down to 0 feet, 90-degree cut. Started this investigation about 6 weeks ago. Last week, we got a stop work order from King County Roads, and the developer's now beginning to fill in some of this area. The problem is, and this is where I'm seeking council support that we may be dealing with over the next month, is there is no base support at the bottom of the steep slope. There's no rockery, no retaining wall. They're also backfilling with 100% fill and a 2-to-1 slope, and that's all new material. And there is nothing planted on this steep slope other than hydroseeding, which will not hold up through this winter months. There's also nothing at the top of the hill for planting any trees or a guardrail. And if you move to the third or the fourth and fifth page, you'll see a picture of the street, and you'll notice the left on the orange, orange fence. How's that? That is where the slope begins. And if you see a couple of the other pictures, you'll notice that it looks like the slope, when they put the black tarp on it, that it's less than 90 degrees. But all that's happened is the tarp has been pulled down by some of the backfill material. So what we're looking for is trees or a retaining wall at the top of the slope, some sort of planting on the hillside that will last through this season, and a retaining wall at the bottom that'll actually protect the dirt from being washed out by a 2 or 3 inch rain. And the final concern is safety. Without a retaining structure or at the top, we kind of think that somebody from the high school come driving down through there late at night, try to make a turnaround, and if there's no protection wall, they'll go right over the hillside, drops 12 feet, and that's a real danger. So thank you for hearing me. Had great support from Nathan Janders in following through on this in the last 2 or 3 weeks, and maybe back here in another month if we have additional requests.
Thank you.
Any questions?
For the council's awareness, staff is aware of this issue.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Next up is Marcus Olson.
Thank you, Mayor and the council. I will refrain from my kitchen Spanish, even though she was very well. I would like to introduce myself. I'm a 3-star Michelin chef, although I'm from Washington State. I started Burger Addict, and we most recently won top 3 burger in the world by Lex Life magazine. And so I'm here to talk about a couple things, and I wanted your guys' help. So with Councilmember Vaughn, we started the Renton Police Foundation that's going to go active this year. And we are, the Renton Police Foundation voted their own guild to accept donations. They got some complaints from some store owners, especially during COVID, that someone couldn't buy an officer lunch. So they voted on their own. So we're going to have in stores them be able to donate through the POS systems. And so I thank Councilman Vaughn for that. And we're by the end of the year, we're going to go live. Through my restaurant, I've met a lot of great people, some of them here, but some of them are Seahawks, and Pete Carroll's came in since the first week. He has given me his personal cell phone and email to help me with these issues, including this Save the Seagull River. He's very involved. He's a fly fisherman with his started from his grandfather down in California. So he's a really nice guy. He's the guy that you see on the TV. So and with that is why I'm here today, is because I'm moving my location. I'm doing 8.5 years, and I have a food truck that was originally slated for Renton and the Boeing. They invited me on their property. There's zoning ordinances that I would like to speak up and bring up, and I spoke to Valerie before. I went to a couple of meetings. I can't believe how much meetings you have on Monday. Much respect. But that being said, I think the ordinances need to be addressed because there's a prime location property that I am available to get, but it has a dark recent past, and I would like to use it, you guys' help to change the ordinance so I can make that a food truck pod. You guys don't allow food truck pods like other cities have, and they've been really successful. So it'd be really great if we can get this done, because it's the domestic violence month, and something really awful happened to a woman on that property. So I would like to use your guys' help to do something positive in Renton and use this as just a positive thing. Thanks for your time. And I appreciate President O'Halloran coming back and from being sick. And I met a lot of you guys here. And if we can just work together with the government, I've done in this 3 or 4 projects in Paris and London. That's where I got my Michelin stars. With the government, I see quality food as an aspect to converge the two and get big businesses together and get city councils together to do onwards and upwards. So thanks for your time.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. Next up is Jim Rehorst.
Mayor,
Good evening.
how are you? Good. Ms. Rivera,
Hi, how are you?
Ms. Vaughn, I know a few of you on this council. I came here this evening because I have 3 children under the age of 6. I live in the Renton Highlands and have for almost a decade. And I came here to support Mr. Olson as well. I think we've just a tad taken our eye off the ball of our sense of community. Guys like Mr. Olson have survived a lot. They really have, through COVID, through inflation, things like this. He asked me to come here this evening and present. I'm not here to present anything. I'm here to tell you guys how it really is out there. I work for a company called Spot On. I am a point of sale provider, amongst other things, and other technologies that help small business owners like him grow. And it just seems like we as a community, we're pushing that further away. So when gentlemen like Mr. Olson speak, it's because it's due to a lot of hard work, a lot of agony, sweat, and tears. And I've seen so many business owners that I've worked with over the years pour their hearts and souls into their businesses only to see their dreams come to an end through COVID. We've shut a lot of them down through no fault of your own, obviously. But Mr. Olson is passionate about what he does. He's very skilled, very talented. And so I just wanted to speak on this topic just a little bit to make sure that we're all paying attention. If we run all the small businesses out of town, out of the community, then we're just going to have nothing but big box stores moving in left, right, and sideways. Now, I understand the Landing is a very attractive place, but if you go down there, there are not a lot of family-owned businesses with a lot of history behind them. So I think that we should give them, those small business owners like Mr. Olson, all the support that we can. I don't just work here in the state of Washington. I work coast to coast. I deal with business owners, some of them at enterprise level, that have lost their enterprises, franchises. And I just think that we're taking our eye off the ball a little bit as far as how we're allocating money, and not listening to the small business owner. As a child, I know I only have a couple seconds left, but as a child, I always loved going to Dick's Barber Shop, things like that. And so I think that when these issues come up, we need to support them in every way that we can, with tax dollars. These are my tax dollars behind it, and our votes. So thank you for your time, Congressman.
All right, thank you. Okay, next up is the consent agenda. There are 3 items. Are there any council would like pulled for separate consideration?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Council President O'Halloran.
hearing none, I move the consent agenda be approved as published.
Second.
It's been moved by Council President O'Halloran, seconded by Councilmember Prince, that the consent agenda be approved as published. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. All right, motion carries. We're on to unfinished business. Council President O'Halloran.
No unfinished business, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Councilmember Rivera.
No unfinished business, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Councilmember Albertson.
No unfinished business, Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember Van.
No unfinished business.
Councilmember Perez.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Finance Committee has 4 committee reports to present.
The first report is regarding approval of claims and payroll vouchers. The Finance Committee approves the following payments. Accounts payable, a total payment of $7,654,377.75 for a number of vouchers, payroll benefit withholding vouchers, and 2 wire transfers. And then 2 is payroll, total payment of $1,883,513.92 for payroll vouchers, including 743 direct deposits and 25 checks. This is the September 1st through 15th pay period. This is signed by the committee chair and members.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Councilmember Perez.
I move that the council concur with the recommendation of the Finance Committee committee report.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilmember Perez, second by Councilmember Albertson, that the council concur with the Finance Committee report. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
The next report is regarding a grant from King County for the Family First Community Center. The Finance Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to authorize the mayor and city clerk to execute the agreement with King County for a grant in the amount of $500,000 for the Family First Community Center. This too is signed by the committee chair and members.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Councilmember Perez.
I move that the council concur with the recommendation of the Finance Committee committee report.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilmember Perez, second by Councilmember Albertson, that the council concur with the Finance Committee report. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
The next report is regarding a lease with Dish Wireless LLC. The Finance Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to authorize the mayor and city clerk to execute a lease agreement with Dish Wireless LLC for the use of space on or at the Rolling Hills Reservoir facility. This lease agreement is for a 5-year period effective November 1st, 2023 to October 31st, 2028, with revenues estimated at $186,000. This is signed by the committee chair and members.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Councilmember Perez.
I then move that the council concur with the recommendation of the Finance Committee committee report.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilmember Perez, seconded by Councilmember Albertson, that the council concur with the Finance Committee report. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Okay, the final Finance Committee report is regarding Community Development Block Grant Funds. The Finance Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to approve and accept the 2024 Community Development Block Grant Funds and Contingency Plan as proposed and the reallocation of unspent Community Development Block Grant Coronavirus Round 3 funds in the amount of $448,208 to the Don Person Renton Senior Activity Center HVAC project. The committee further recommends authorization for the mayor and city clerk to execute the grant agreements subject to approval as to legal form. This is signed by the committee chair and members.
Mr. Mayor, these funds, as the reports say, will be used for this so much needed improvements of the Don Person Senior Center. With the years, we have been trying to allocate as many funds as possible to renovate not just the kitchen, but some of the facade and some of the needs of the senior center. That is very hard to allocate budget for these capital projects in annual basis. So little by little, we have been able to make some improvements, not to the level of need of the senior center, because today they mentioned how old it is, but I don't even remember right now at this time, but it's aging very fast. So I was very pleased to see that they decided to use this money for the Don Person Senior Activity Center. And with that, I move that the council concur with the recommendation of the Finance Committee report.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilmember Perez, second by Councilmember Albertson, that the council concur with the Finance Committee report. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. All right, motion carries. Thank you. Councilmember Prince.
Mr. Mayor, no unfinished business.
All right, Councilmember McGurven.
No unfinished business, Mr. Mayor.
Fantastic. We're on the legislation. We have one ordinance for second and final reading.
Okay, this ordinance is regarding the Renton Transportation Benefit District. An ordinance of the City of Renton, Washington, assuming the rights, powers, functions, immunities, and obligations of the Renton Transportation Benefit District, amending Chapter 5-27 of the Renton Municipal Code, providing for severability and establishing an effective date.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Councilmember McGurven.
I move that the ordinance be adopted as read.
It's been moved by Councilmember McGurven, second by Councilmember Perez, that the ordinance be adopted as read. The second reading requires a roll call.
Council President O'Halloran.
Aye.
Councilmember Rivera.
Aye.
Councilmember Albertson.
Aye.
Councilmember Vaughn.
Aye.
Councilmember Perez.
Aye.
And Councilmember Prince.
Aye.
And Councilmember McIrvin.
Aye.
Roll call, Mr. Mayor. All ayes.
Motion carries. We're on to new business. Council President O'Halloran.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, on Monday, October the 16th, 2023, at 5:45 PM, the Committee of the Whole will be meeting in the conferencing center and via video conference. We have one item on the agenda, and that is the mid-biennial budget update. And then at 7 PM on October 16th, the regularly scheduled council meeting will be located here in council chambers and via video conference. And that's all I have, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Councilmember Rivera.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. The Community Services Committee will meet on Monday, October 16th at 4:45 p.m. You have two items on the agenda. The first will be the contract with the Western Neon for Williams Avenue Public Art, and the second will be emerging issues in EHHS. Thank you.
Councilmember Albertson.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. The Utilities Committee meeting originally scheduled for Monday, October 16th has been canceled. That is all.
Okay, Councilmember Van.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, the Public Safety Committee meeting that was scheduled for October 16th is canceled at this point.
All right, Councilmember Perez.
No new business, Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember Prince.
No new business, Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember McGurven.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Transportation Committee that would have been scheduled for Monday, October 16th is also canceled. That's all, Mr. Mayor.
That is the wish of the council.
Move adjourn.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilmember Prince, second by Council President O'Halloran, that we adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. We're adjourned.